I was reaching for the wine when I felt, I'm behind me. The fridge light spilled across the tile as Jake's hand settled, and my hips warm, possessive, like he'd been waiting all night to do this. His breath hit my neck. Whiskey sweet from the party we just left. I should have been surprised, but the way his fingers dug into the silk of my dress told me. He'd planned this moment. The cold air from the refrigerator made me shiver. Or maybe it was the way his thumb slipped under the hem of my dress, tracing slow circles. Just above my knee, I could feel his heart beat through his shirt, where my back pressed against him, fast but steady, like he knew exactly what he was. And when I turned the counter's edge bite into my lower back, his hands moved toe, either side of me, caging me in without. Touching that was worse now. All could think about was the heat of his body, the way his eyes dropped to my mouth. Somewhere down the hall, our roommates, shower turned on the pipes, groaned Jake's smile was all teeth as Helened in close enough that I could taste the mint on his breath. We should probably started, but his lips cut me off. At the corner of my mouth, not quite a kiss of promise. The wine bottle slipped from my fingers. The wine bottle rolled away, forgotten near the fridge as Jake, hands found my waist. His fingers slipped beneath the thin fabric of my dress, calloused palms, skimming my ribs with deliberate slowness. Every inch of contact burned, not with urgency, but with the unbearable tension of restraint. He nudged me backward until the kitchen table pressed against me thighs. The wooden edge dug in just enough to make me aware of how exposed I was. How little stood between bare skin and cold surface. His knee parted mine with calculated ease, the denim of his jeans rough against my inner thigh. I reached for his belt loop, but he caught my wrist, pinning it gently against the table behind me. His other hand traced the strap of my dress downward millimeter by millimeter, his breath hot against my collarbone. The shower still ran down the hall, a steady reminder of how little privacy we actually had. When his teeth grazed my shoulder, I arched instinctively toward him. His responding chuckle vibrated against my skin as his free hand slid up my thigh, bunching the dress higher. There between us, crackled, with unspoken questions somewhere. Outside, a car door slammed. We both froze. Jake's thumb continued its lazy circles, where May met lace. His eyes locked on it. The silent challenge was clear. We could stop, or we could see how quiet you can really be. The shower stopped. The sudden silence made my breath catch. Jake's hands stilled against my thighs, his body tense above me. Somewhere down the hall, a door creaked open. Footsteps padded across hardwood. Our roommate moving toward the kitchen. Jake's thumb pressed against my bottom lip. A silent command. His other hand remained where it was, fingertips tracing idle patterns just beneath the lace edge of my underwear. The contrast between his casual touch and the pounding of my heart left melodied. The footsteps paused outside the kitchen doorway. Their refrigerator hummed, a cabinet door squeaked open. Someone grabbing a glass. Jake didn't move. His breath came slow and steady against my neck, his body shielding me from view. Should our roommate glance our way? The table creaked under our combined weight, and his grip on my hip tightened in warning. His fingers dipped lower, achingly slow, as the faucet turned and water rushed into the glass. Drowning out my sharp inhale, the cold metal of the table beat into my back as I arched against him, my nails digging into his shoulders. The faucet shut off the footsteps, retreated. Jake's mouth found mine, swallowing my relieved sigh as his touch grew bolder. The risk of discovery still hung heavy in the air, but his hands told a different story. One of patience, unraveling of control, slipping away. One careful touch at a time. When the bedroom door clicked shut, down the hall, his restraint snapped the moment the bedroom door closed. The kitchen became its own universe. Jake's hands moved with new purpose, his earlier restraint dissolving like sugar and hauteur. The table groaned beneath us as he lifted me fully onto its surface. sending a forgotten fork clattering to the floor. The sound should have startled me, but all I could focus on was the way his thumbs hooked into the lace at my hips, the way his breath hitched when I rolled against him, moonlight through the window-painted silver stripes across his shoulders. Ashley leaned over me. Every point of contact burned his knee. Between mine, the press of his belt buckle against my inner thigh, the delicious friction of fabric dragging where we wanted it gone. His mouth trailed down my neck, pausing to suck lightly at the pulse point beneath my ear. I bit my lip hard enough to taste, Copper determined to stay quiet. Even Ash's fingers teased, the damp lace between my legs. Outside, a car alarm wailed 3 stories down. The clock on the microwave blinked. 2:17 and none of it mattered. The only things that existed were his hands, his mouth, the unbearable tension coiling low in my stomach with every skilled stroke of his fingers when his free hand fumbled with his belt. The leather sliding through the loop sounded obscenely loud. I reached to help, but he caught my wrist, pinning it gently. Above my head, his eyes locked, onto mine, dark, hungry, asking a silent question. The answering nod I gave was barely perceptible. His groan when he finally slid into me was muffled against my shoulder, his teeth sinking into flesh, just shy of painful. The table scraped against the tile with our movement, the sound surely carrying through the thin apartment walls. We didn't care. Every thrust, every gasp, every slick slide of skin on skin brought us closer to that dizzying edge. Then the fridge motor kicked, on with a loud hum flooding the kitchen with sudden light. We froze, blinking at each other like thieves caught mid-heist. The fridge light burned brighter than morning sun, exposing us in all. Our disheveled glory. Jake's shirt hung open, revealing the sweat, saw-licked planes of his chest. My dress was bunched around my waist, the fabric wrinkled. Beyond repair, we stared at each other, breathless and wide-eyed before bursting into silent laughter. Our foreheads pressed together to muffle the sound, here achy behind. Me to grab a dish towel, the terry cloth rough against my oversensitive skin as he dabbed at the wine. We'd knocked over earlier, the red stain spread across the wood like abstract art. A permanent reminder of where his hands had been minutes before. I watched, his fingers work mesmerized by their steadiness now compared to their earlier desperation. The kitchen smelled like salt and citrus and us. A heavy combination clinging to the air. Jake's belt still lay coiled near the fruit bowl like a discarded snake. Skin, my underwear. God only knew where that had ended up. He pressed a water glass into my hands, his thumb brushing mine as I took it. The ice cubes clinked as it drank the coldest shock to my system. When I looked up, he was watching me with that same hungry expression from before, though softened. Now at the edges, dawn tinted the window spink. By the time we gathered our things, my legs trembled. So I stepped off the edible, but Jake's arms lit around my waist before I could stumble. His lips found my temple, a chaste contrast to what we just shared as he guided me toward the hallway. The bedroom door stood open, untouched. We'd never made it somehow. That was perfect.